For most university and college students, summer means lazy days, going to the beach, and just kicking back and relaxing, not ladling soup out of the back of a bus. But for one UIT student, that was the best part of her summer. Arden Ward, a chemistry student at UIT, spent part of her summer helping the homeless in New York City. Hello, Arden.
Hello.
So I was just wondering if you could tell us how the experience came about.
Yeah, so the pastor at the church I go to in Oshawa mentioned that he was running a trip to New York City with a group of young adults. And I was excited, but at the same time, I went on a trip to Africa last year. So I decided that I was going to take a break this year from traveling, and I wasn't going to go on this trip. It was someone else's turn. But then I went to the information night where he was telling us about what he was going to be doing, what programs he was running, and what the team would be helping out with. And I just got so excited, and some of the things that they were doing just sounded so amazing. So I decided that I was going to apply, and then I applied, and I actually got accepted onto the team, which was crazy, and I ended up going.
So I was wondering if we could put the viewers a little bit more into what was going on. Could you describe what a typical day was like in New York City?
We would head out, and from there, every day was pretty different. Some nights we would go to church, or we would go to the Bowery, and we would just get to worship, or we would run worship on a ferry and just get everyone else interested in singing, and those were always fun. Or some days we did a little bit of sightseeing ourselves. We went around to see main attractions in New York City, but while we did that, we did a prayer walk. So we would go to these different areas, and we would just stand there and pray for people and pray with people, and again, that was a really cool experience. And other days we would be serving. We would be getting down and dirty with people and serving. We were preparing and serving meals at soup kitchens, or standing in the back of a hot bus serving soup and bread to people in areas that are a little bit harder, and areas that are a little bit sketchier and scarier for people like me. And I think probably my favorite was some of the days we would go out on the sidewalks and literally sit down on the sidewalks with the homeless people and share a meal with them. And it was we're going out and we're going to sit down and share a meal with these homeless people. It was the most humbling experience. We would literally get right down with them at their level and sit down on these sidewalks and share food with them, while everybody else in New York City is rushing past you and tripping over you and giving you weird looks because you're sitting down with a homeless person. And
how has this trip impacted you personally?
Oh goodness, so many ways. One thing that I really took away from this trip was I moved to downtown Oshawa 3 or 4 years ago, and every single day I pass by homeless people, and I've always been super nervous because I'm I want to help them. I have this huge passion to help them, but I don't know what to do or where to start or what to say. So it just kind of gave me a new perspective on that, and it's not as difficult as it looks. It's so intimidating, but something as simple as saying, hey, how was your day? And actually caring and having a conversation with them and telling them that you love them and that you care about them, it can change their life. It can make their day go from the worst day to the best day. I've actually started once a month. I go to downtown Oshawa with a group of people from the trip. And we're slowly expanding, so other people are joining us. And we just go out around downtown Oshawa and hand out goods and food to the homeless people downtown, and I just get to talk to them and get to know them, which is even cooler because that's in our own backyard.
So what would you say to a student who is thinking about taking a trip like this?
Do it. Simple as that. No. Honestly, do though. If you ever have an opportunity to go out and serve, I highly recommend you take it. There are always going to be excuses. I know when I was going on my first trip, I kept saying no, I can't. And I just kind of came to terms that there's always going to be something that you think is a good enough excuse to not go. There's always going to be something in the way making you say, no, not now. There's always going to be an excuse. There's always going to be an out if you look for one. But if you just finally just give up and just say, I'm going, amazing things will come out of it. Amazing things will happen. I definitely recommend everyone takes up an opportunity to go on a trip like this.
Okay. Thank you, Arden.
Thank you.
Arden Ward is a UIT student who traveled to New York City this past summer.